Hello, Cubs fans, and welcome to the channel. This is the Average Fan channel, taking on the average perspective for Chicago sports. These are the Cubs videos where we have game breakdowns, we have roster moves, we give our opinions on what we see. We aren't overly analytical here, but we just talk about what we see, what we like, and what we don't like. If you enjoy the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, and let's build the community together. Until then, we'll catch you in the next one. Hello, Cubs fans, and welcome in. Welcome back, welcome back. It's AJ, your average fan here. We got a game to discuss on this Sunday. The Cubs dropped the series finale against San Diego 8-7. This game was a little bit of a wild one in the beginning. Yeah, so the Padres put up three in the first. The Cubs put up five in the first. Score another two. They were up 7-3 at one point in this game. Not very much a pitcher's day. San Diego nor the Cubs pitched very well. It was cold. It was windy. The Padres two balks also in that first inning. Yeah, it was just really a wild one today. A couple of notables today in that ninth inning. A dropped ball by Justin Turner. Walks in the bullpen continue to bite the Cubs. But the offense still taking their walks. So there is some good to talk about here today. We will get into it. If we're looking at the pitching first, Ben Brown was able to stretch it 4 innings after laboring quite a bit in the first. He allowed 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, 1 home run. His ERA sits at 7.71. Thielbar, 2/3 of an inning pitched. He allowed a run, 2 walks, 1 K. His ERA is at 6.23. Merriweather, 1.1 innings pitched, or an inning and a third. He allows 2 hits, 2 Ks, still showing a 0 ERA. Keller, he comes in for an inning, 1 hit allowed, 2 Ks, brings his ERA down to a 3.60. Porter Hodge, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk. His ERA is a 1.59. Presley comes in for an inning. He allows a hit, a walk, 1 run, and his ERA is at a 4.50. There is an asterisk there up by Presley. He did allow a run, but not a earned run. If you look at the day's totals, 9 innings pitched, 13 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 8 walks, 10 Ks, 1 home run. So yeah, we'll start with Ben Brown. Labored quite a bit in that first inning. He did settle down a little bit, managed to get 4 innings out of him. He kept that game within reach, I would say, after giving up 3 in the first and then 2 in the fourth. The Cubs offense really showed up in that first and second, so Ben Brown did plenty to keep that game close for the Cubs. Thielbar comes in, he allows a run. So then the Cubs being up, let's see here, 7-3, it becomes 7-5, 7-6, and then the Cubs bullpen did really good in the sixth and seventh. It didn't allow anything. The eighth and ninth, those very high leverage guys tied the game and then allowed Fernando Tatis to score the ultimate game-winning run. I don't even say that ninth inning is totally on Presley. Here's the deal. I am definitely over Presley already at this point. I think that allowing these walks are really biting him. But in the same regard, he did what he needed to do. He got a quick out after that, and then he got what should be a inning-ending double play ball that Justin Turner ends up dropping. Just lets the ball go straight through the mitt, really. I mean, it was a good throw on Nico Horner. He just needed to hold on to that ball. I even tweeted out that I thought that if Michael Bush was in the game, Michael Bush would have held on to that ball and ended the inning. So I'm not really sure why Michael Bush doesn't come in defensively after that pinch hit, but at the same time, we can't let rarities be the majority, and I don't think that Justin Turner would drop that ball, more than not. I think that that is literally a 1 in 100 type of situation. It just sucks that this was the 1 in 100 situation that led to Tatis getting across the plate. But as far as Justin Turner goes, I think that his defense will be just fine. I can't blame him for dropping one ball. It just stings that it's in the fashion that this game is in because you easily could have swept this series, been 8-4, but now you're looking at 7-5 going against Texas. But if you really want to look at it this way, you're still playing 600 ball because you still, you still won the series, so that's still 666. But this was an easily winnable game with how the pitching turned out since it was cold, windy. It was very hard for everybody to control the ball today for pitchers, and I think that that really shows because the Cubs again taking their walks, 8 total walks today by the Cubs. As we look at this batting order, Ian Happ gets a hit in 4 at-bats, scores 2 runs, takes a walk. I will also say that in the ninth inning, it really stung a little bit, being that he was the leadoff man. An 0-2 pitch called a strike really just changed his entire at-bat. That changed his entire approach. He swung at a ball that was kind of down and away, lifted it to Hayward in left field. That produced the first out of the ninth inning. I think if that ball is called a ball like it should have been, that at bat would have ended totally different. Seiya Suzuki having a down series, another 0 for 3 today. He did plate a run, but he did take 2 walks. So if there is kind of a silver lining to Suzuki this series without getting hits, he definitely took his walks. I also think that in the ninth inning, that first pitch on the outside being called a strike really just kind of was a detriment to the rest of his at bat. I'm getting really sick and tired of these outside pitches being called first strikes on Suzuki. I don't think that it's right. I don't think that it's fair. I think that it sets him back for the entire at bat because when these balls on the outside are called a strike, when they're clearly not a strike, he struggles the rest of his at bats. Not to say that you're a major league professional hitter, you should be able to turn around from that. But we see this more than not with say a Suzuki, and then he just goes down looking on a ball that was middle down. He should have been able to swing at that. I don't know why he didn't. He jumps up and down, going back towards the dugout like that shouldn't have been called a strike. It was 100% a strike. Suzuki, you got to swing at that. You can't. When you are down 1 run in the ninth, you cannot be looking at any balls in the zone. Period. You just can't. Tucker, 2 for 4 today. He scores 2 runs, 3 RBIs. Man, look, Kyle Tucker is just doing Kyle Tucker things. I mean, he hits another home run today. He is now tied with most in the league at 5. He took a walk today. His average up at 319 and OPS at 1203. I mean, Kyle Tucker just doing Kyle Tucker things. We love to see it. Love to see it. I would still like to see him bat second over Suzuki in a day like today. I think that if Tucker is ahead of Suzuki, he maybe gets on base in that third inning there. Maybe Suzuki is able to do some damage. Suzuki tends to do better damage with runners on, anyways. So Justin Turner, he goes 0 for 4 with an RBI. I think he had a bases loaded walk. That's where he gets his RBI from today. 2 strikeouts, his OPS at 516, average at 200. Dansby Swanson 0 for 3 today with a walk, 1 strikeout. He started off awfully hot enough that I don't mind the 0 for today, especially given that he had a walk. The Cubs offense they're still showing up early in these games and they're still taking their walks. They're being very patient. They're not attacking, uh, you know, very nasty pitches outside of the zone. But Swanson did strike out on a pitch that was awfully high in the zone. I would like to see him bring that down. I think that his strikeout numbers would come down a lot if he stops striking out on these very high fastballs, which to be fair, also the same could be said for Suzuki. Suzuki also swings at very high fastballs right now. He's doing it at a very high clip. I think that if Suzuki and Swanson kind of keep their eye on that ball for that very high fastball out of the zone, I think that they could start doing a little bit more damage, especially in Suzuki's case. Suzuki tends to strike out on that high fastball a lot. So, just try to keep your eye on that high fastball, man. I really do think that you guys could do a bit more damage if you just lay off of that high fastball a little bit more. Nico Horner, 3 for 4 today. Excellent. With a run scored, RBI, 361 on the season, 814 OPS. If Nico Horner, man, Nico Horner just keeps doing what he's doing, spraying balls all over the field, not trying to swing for the fence, just move guys along, especially with men in scoring position. He will be what we saw in 2013 or 2023. I have no doubts about that. I very much think that he could return to that 2023 form, and he did that again today. Again, 3 for 4 with an RBI. Excellent work. Pete Crow Armstrong, yeah, he's definitely a little bit in a slump. He did score a run today. He went 0 for. I'm pretty sure that even though it shows up as an offer, he bunted his way onto base and then wound up scoring a run. He's at a 174 with a 494 OPS on the season. Well, I think that he will turn it around. He will get better. I know that he's just trying to make up for a bad series against Arizona. I know that he's just trying to get on base by any means necessary, but I have no doubts in believing that he will dial it back and he will return a little bit to what we saw at the end of last year. His eye at the plate will get better. He just needs to stack on a couple of hits, man. He just needs one good day at the plate, and he will turn around. He'll come around no problem. I fully believe in that. Shaw 0 for 1 today. 2 walks though, good for him with a strikeout. Michael Bush pinch hit 0 for 1, strikeout there. Workman, he pinch hit, but he went 0 for 0. Kelly, 0 for 3 today, but he did take a walk, 1 strikeout. So on the totals today, 30 at bats, 7 runs on 6 hits, 5 RBIs, 8 walks. That again, that is a big thing for the Cubs. 8 strikeouts, but that is again a big turning point. Not turning point, I'm sorry, but a big consistency so far out of the Cubs. They are taking their walks. All right. Um, I do believe that if you keep taking your walks, you will consistently play 600 ball. No problem. No problem. I think that you will win a lot of series and get some sweeps in there if you keep taking your walks. I think that that will be crucial because when you have down days like today, your walks is what scored you most of your runs 100%. Um, so, I think that today's game definitely falls on the bullpen. Just again, I can't really harp on the bullpen a lot because they had back-to-back really good series. They played really good in Sacramento. Their first 2 games against the Padres were really good. Today was just an unlucky day to really falter. 10 total strikeouts on the day for pitching as a whole, but also 8 walks. Those walks do bite you in games like today that are already close when you're down or when you're up by only a single run going into the 8th inning. Those walks will bite you, and that's exactly what happened because it got tied up in the 8th. The Padres took the lead in the ninth. Have you not walk that leadoff batter in the ninth? It's a tie game going to the bottom of the ninth, and the Cubs could try to do something, or at least push it into extras to get outside of the Padres closer and try to do something then, because the Cubs had options in the bullpen today. The starting rotation did fairly well against the Padres. The bullpen didn't really get taxed a whole lot. So if you could have made it into extra innings, there was options in our bullpen compared to the Padres bullpen. So I do think that if the bullpen could get those walk numbers down, Hodge has been really solid, so I'm not going to really beat up on him too much. But Presley really, really needs to get his walks under control. Again, I'm ready at this point that uh, Council could walk away from him as the closer, and I would be okay with it. I think that that's the sentiment of a lot of Cubs fans already as we talk about it. But when you're up by 5, 6 runs and your bullpen gives up a run in each inning, and then you still get the save, no harm, no foul. But when you're in a one-run game, these walks do matter. These walks really do matter. Not to say that they don't matter when you're up by a lot, because I mean, in the box score, walks don't look good when you're supposed to be, a high leverage, lights out kind of guy. Hodge letting up his first run on the year, I'm not gonna beat him up too bad on it at all. Again, the Presley situation needs to get under control and it needs to get under control fast. He needs to stop walking the leadoff man, especially the nine hitter. You can't be walking you can't walk the catcher. I mean, you just can't, especially in games like today where you do what you're supposed to do. Even if you don't walk that leadoff guy and that ball still gets dropped at first, you're not looking at Tatis scoring that run. You're looking at him going from second to third in that situation. So, um, does it hurt? Yeah, sure. But you still win the series, so that is good stuff. You're still above 500. That is good stuff. I will pull it up real quick. We will look at the um, let's see, that is today's scores. We will look at the game going ahead into tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we will preview that whole series. Let me just look at um, let me see here. I should have had this pulled up before coming into this segment. Give me 1 second here while I look up what our pitching matchups are. Ah, man, what is the? Oh, there we go. Okay. T Nope, that's not the way that I want it to be. Okay, here we go. So, uh, tomorrow's game, 6:40 p.m. We have Steele, 2-1, 6.89 ERA, going up against Eovaldi for Texas, 1-0, 1.20 ERA. I think that that's actually a fairly good matchup. I think that Justin Steele is still in his build-up phase. We see this every year with Steele. He builds up in a couple of games. Um, I think that this game could be really good for Steele, faring how the weather holds up. I think that if, even if the wind is blowing in tomorrow, this will even fare better for Justin Steele. He did go 6 2/3 in his last game. You could see him do that again, potentially go 7. This could be a very good matchup. They're both right-handed pitchers, so we should see Michael Busch get the start at first, and then we should see, you know, Turner later in the game at some point. I'm assuming. I don't know if Horner would get the start tomorrow. It could potentially be a day off for him, and we might see um, Gage Workman maybe at second base just to give Horner a day off. I haven't seen any reports that he's 100% yet, but I also haven't seen any reports on a design day off for him. So we'll just kind of have to look at the lineup tomorrow before ahead of the game to kind of see where they are at with Horner. But on Tuesday's game, Tyone versus Corbin, Tyone, his first game he struggled, but his second game fared quite a bit better, brought his ERA down quite a bit. Tyone coming back, we could see another fairly decent game out of him. It's a righty versus lefty type of day, so on Tuesday, I would imagine that we definitely see Turner get the start at first base, defensive wise, in that lineup. And then on Thursday or on Wednesday's game ahead of the Thursday day off, we see Imanaga versus Mali, and Imanaga will get that start. Left-handed versus right-handed. Look, Imanaga 2-0, 0.98 ERA. I have no doubts that Imanaga will continue with his streak, especially being at home. His home versus away splits, while they are very similar, he definitely is better at home So we should see him continue on his streak of good starts at Wrigley. Look, the Rangers 8-2, very good team. Cubs 7-5, they really should be 8-3. This will be another fairly good matchup for the Cubs as to see if they're the real deal. You know, you want to see the offense keep taking those walks, keep those strikeout numbers down, see some just see, multiple ways to score in the game. Get your scores by potentially a home run or two. Get it by playing station to station ball. Get it by those walks with the bases loaded, 2-out rallies. I just want to see the Cubs continue to score in a variety of ways like we have been up until this point. I think that, um, the Cubs scoring in multiple ways is very beneficial. I think that those walk numbers, again, they only continue to help even on low scoring games, which the Cubs have not had a lot of. They are averaging like 6.5 runs per game right now. So if you continue to get those walks, produce early in the game, produce in the later stages of the game. Granted, that was not the case today. They got very well blanked after that third inning. If you continue to just kind of chip on with that score, add a little bit here, add a little bit there, a little bit in the later stages, you know, get a home run or two, play your station to station, play your situational, get your clutch hits. Most of all, keep taking your walks. I think that that is the big difference setter between the hot offense of 2024 that got off to that hot start and the hot offense of 2025 this year. The Cubs taking their walks early and often, I think that that helps. Again, also having that dangerous hitting 2 and 3 in Suzuki and Tucker in the lineup definitely helps. With Ian Happ just being solid and getting on base by any means necessary in that leadoff spot. I think that the Cubs can do some damage against these Rangers. I really do believe that. I expect the Cubs, given that you have Steele to go on Monday and Imanaga to go on Wednesday, I expect the Cubs to take another series here. I expect them to go 2-3. Being at home, if Tyone gets a really solid start, you might potentially be looking at a sweep. It depends on how many runs the Cubs put up. It also depends on who's good to go for the bullpen. The bullpen got used a little bit today. Not too bad, though, because of your starts yesterday and Friday. So, yeah, if you get a really good start out of Steele here tomorrow to keep that bullpen fresh, this could shape up to be another very, very good series for the Cubs. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the Cubs and how they have started. Not the way that you wanted the game to go today. Today should have been another win. It should have been a second sweep. But nonetheless, the Cubs take 2 of 3. They stay on the winning side for their record as we go into Texas tomorrow. And with that, my friends, you have a good rest of your day, a good evening. Have a good Monday tomorrow, and we will catch you for the post game afterwards. I'm AJ, your average fan here, and we will see you guys tomorrow.